Well, hello there. What a lovely day. It's actually been raining all morning. It's just started to clear up now. So overcast skies, as it were. And while I was out having my coffee this morning, I had a treat. I had 2 blue tits in the tree behind me. Well, behind you, where you are. And yesterday evening, after I did all the gardening and was tidying up, I put out some bird food on one of the solar lights that we've got in the garden. Anyway, we had a robin and its babies. There's 2 baby robins and there's 2 other fully grown robins. You can tell that it's a robin because they're very narrow beaks and they're not like sparrows at all, but they do look a bit like a sparrow when they're babies. Apparently my wife said they look like female thrushes when they're very young, but I couldn't really make it out because it was in the bushes. Right, anyway, this is my morning drink. It's just flavoured water, really, but it's supposed to do me good. Anyway, yeah, I've been. You know, we had some northern lights coming up. The aurora borealis came around last week sometime, and apparently there was supposed to have been some at the weekend, but yeah, I didn't see any. Yeah, being down in Lowestoft when the northern lights came on, I was safely tucked up in bed, and I only found out about it the following day, and they said it would be around the next day, but I looked out and I couldn't see anything because too many light pollution on board ship, and of course I couldn't have taken a photograph of it anyway because of the new rules, and not wishing to get into any trouble, I didn't take a photograph. So there you go. Yeah, I am not going to take photographs on board ship anymore. No more videos. No nothing. I can't even take a picture of a seagull that has nothing but sky in it. That's how ridiculous these people are. Anyway, let them carry on. Let them do what they want. I'm going to be out of there pretty soon, and that will be the end of it. And that won't be my problem anymore, will it? It's such a shame, really. But yeah, we do absolutely do some good work on board, counting all the fish stocks that are out there. Anyway, getting back to the solar stuff. Apparently, this is what I've been reading up on, is that a collection of sunspots grouped together into one large sunspot. This was 16 times the size of the Earth. Can you imagine that? 16 times the width of the Earth was the size of this solar sunspot, and of course it threw out all these solar waves, solar winds that are drawn into our North Pole by the magnetic, the internal magnet of our planet. The North and South poles draw in this energy, so that it dumps it out into a place where no one wants to live, because it's pretty cold up north. Anyway, so what they've been saying is that, well, I've been saying this for a long time, is that this year is the year that the sun flips its poles, and we're going to have a lot of increased solar activity. So expect a really warm summer this year. Don't listen to the BBC or the other weather merchants that like to paint everything in a bright, vivid red as if somebody's died. It's not that bad. The temperatures are not much different to what they were in 1940s. So don't blame global warming. This is actually natural. This is a natural Earth cycle. I've done all this before, but just to recap, you know, the sun goes in a circular orbit, and then it goes in an elliptical orbit and back to a circular orbit. As we go around the sun, we go into this elliptical or circular orbit. It happens every 100,000 years, and of course, combined now with the fact that we've got this poles changing, we are going to be a great deal closer to the sun than we have been in a long time, simply because it's just a coincidence where the elliptical orbit and the solar radiation that's coming out of the sun will mean that this summer will be a little bit hotter than normal, and it's nothing to worry. It's not man-made at all. But this is, when you listen to the likes of Ian Plimer, Judith Curry, all these people. These are experts in their field. These are people who are being cancelled by the climate alarmists and the government officials because they don't follow the government narrative. So we're not told the truth. And of course, if you continue to tell a lie, eventually it becomes the truth. And this is what we're facing now. Well, I can remember them talking about the climate back when I was a youngster, and they were talking on the radio about how there was going to be another ice age. Now, within several years, that thing about ice age has flipped. And of course, now again, they're talking about another ice age coming because they're saying now that we're reaching the end of the, what they call it, the glacial maxima, where where we're starting to lose all the glaciers and the ice caps. And when that happens, a lot of CO2 will be released from these land masses that were covered in ice and frozen, and also methane as well. And then what happens is a great deal of CO2 in the atmosphere triggers another ice age. It doesn't follow the government narrative, but that's what's going to happen. It might not happen in our lifetimes, but certainly it will happen again, as it's done in the past. If you look at all the records, the fossil records and all that kind of stuff, you will see that we've had peaks and troughs in our weather. And man wasn't around then. But luckily, man is around now, and this increase in CO2 has actually been beneficial to us. Anyway, this is not where I wanted to go. I didn't want to talk about this, or just waffling on. And of course, if you get this far, you'll probably know that I won't put in the adverts in the middle of this talky stuff that I do. If unlike when I'm out and about, because this doesn't cost me much really to sit here and rabbit on. So far with the Alex Bowfield video that I've done, I've now got about the best part of 400 views. So 2/5 on my way to getting my £6 for that new cable. So I'm almost breaking even. I'm actually up to £2.40 now. Yeah. Oh, and anyway, sitting here in the garden, watching the robins and the blue tits has been quite amazing. The bird song is phenomenal. But I'm guessing now, because it's about 1:20, there's people have come home for their lunch, and the dogs are out and they're barking, and the birds have all run away. But yeah, this morning it was quite nice listening to the birds. We've got a blackbird, he sings. We've got the robins that sing. I don't know if the blue ticks sing. I haven't seen them singing. But yeah, it was nice to see the robins yesterday just scattering around the garden. Anyway, so I want to do a review on that wireless microphone that I did, and that cable. That cable was an aftermarket cable, simply because I had the facility to use USB-C to USB-C rather than finding an adapter that went from USB to the jack plug, the phone plug that you get, the headphone socket thing. I didn't want to, more cables, more noise and all that kind of stuff. But one of the things that I can't abide when I watch other people's videos is the wind noise. Now, there's an old guy down in Kent, he does Kent audits. He must be getting on for 60, 70 now. And he has got the worst camera technique in the world. But bless him, he's a good soul, really. He's just out for something to do. I know the feeling when you're sat at home and there's nothing to do. But yeah, he's got no wind muff, so you've got plenty of wind noise. His camera's shaking all over the place, and but he's quite funny. Oh yes, I was going to mention as well, while I'm here, and perhaps I'll do a separate video just so it gets out there rather than at the end of this one. Anyway, so I'm going to call this one quits, and I'm going to do this petition video in a minute. Okay, catch you later.